what happened yesterday? What happened yesterday went a little bit crazy, right? Went a little wild. Let me get the exact number. I'm not gonna scan through the last few days of eating, but the last 2 weeks have been 26, 25.50, 24. Yesterday 5,083. What the hell did I eat? I just went kind of freaking nuts. I'm talking just a bunch of oatmeal, just eating, This is, let me tell you this, because this is kind of my take on it, is I don't schedule a refeed. I don't schedule a refeed into my diet. I don't time okay, every third week is a cheat meal. Not exactly. It's just more so whenever a refeed is necessary is kind of whenever I just end up taking one, So that was yesterday, which honestly wasn't even that crazy, So what got me? I had a bunch of fruit snacks in the gym, which I ended up slamming post, that would be cardio after hitting shoulders last night, which is a really cool pump for me because they're extra big and veiny. And then got home, just a bunch of oatmeal, just a bunch of just whatever was sitting around. Honestly, not all junk either. Man, what the hell else did I even eat? Some oatmeal. It was 300 grams of carbs worth of those fruit snacks in the gym, because it was however many 300 grams of carbs is from 17 or 19 gram of carb packets, so it was 30. I don't know. Either way, total ended up being 785 grams of carbs and 100 something ish of fats, but honestly not that wild, So I woke up yesterday at 239. And then yesterday I ate 5,000 fucking calories. What the fuck? Probably woke up at 260. Probably blew my whole diet. It's over. No more competing. Morning weight 240.4. Not that wild. So my takeaway from that is I kind of got it out of my system a little bit, So I wouldn't recommend that. That's not a method that I would say to do. Obviously stick to your diet, don't cheat, stay under your calorie limits. But if you have a legitimate blip, well, then that's all it is, man. It's just a freaking blip, So I'm not trying to justify that, because that can be taken as, oh dude, I don't even have to stay on plan. Don't forget, I'm down nearly 20 pounds over the last 3 months. Now, 8 of those pounds were just carbs and water instantly from not bulking. So, still 12 pounds, right? And that's over 3 months. So, even on Thanksgiving, I didn't really go too wild. So, I say that was really my first eat kind of whatever I felt like day. More like night, actually. So, if it's a legitimate blip, honestly, I don't think you can undo a month's work of dieting in one day. I'm not sure your body even has the capability to put on that much body fat or whatever in that 1 day time frame, But yeah, I wouldn't expect my weight to climb any higher than that. And I just read a comment where the guy basically said, how do you even recover from a 10,000 calorie cheat day? As if it just will completely destroy your progress and you are no longer dieting and you should just throw in the towel and give up. Which I think is I'm not saying this to the guy who commented this, but it's just such a loser mentality. The idea of, well, what about your micronutrients, man? Well, what about 10 other million things? Okay, so what if you can't be an Olympic athlete? It's not even worth trying. It's just so much nitpicking, right? It's just, I hate to see it, right? But no, it's to answer that question of how do you even recover from that? You went off the rails, just get back on track, right? if only a few of your cars on your locomotive derailed, all you got to do is pop it back on and then you're moving. You know, the problem is if you stay derailed for too long. You know, and honestly, that was actually kind of like a chill cheat day. Like eating that much food like this morning, like I felt gross. So I'll talk about that in a second. But it's not a huge. I mean, yeah, sure, I almost doubled my goal of calories, but the actual effect of that one day out of the last however many, and assuming that the next 4 weeks I'm eating my 2600, my 2500 ish. Looking at the scale of how my weight fluctuates, you might not even notice when that would happen, right? But if I did this entire week, if I for whatever reason said, you know what, guys, this week I'm eating as much food as I want every day. I'm going crazy. I'm letting loose the reins. Well, then you can do some damage, right? You can do some damage. And the problem with a cheat day like that is you can kind of go on you can turn a cheat day into a cheat bender. So instead of just one day where you kind of it's not even that I'm sitting here thinking like I'm going nuts. My in the moment thought was, I'm just gonna eat right now. I'm hungry. I can count this as a refeed. Let's just eat. Let's enjoy it. I'm gonna get back on track tomorrow, and things will be on track like they have been. So as long as that's the case, right, you're cool. But if you have one day where you say, oh crap, what did I just do? You look in the trash can, 2 Ben & Jerry's. You went to Sheetz and you got like 4 cookies, or you stop at Crumble or whatever. Oh crap, I screwed up. It's over. Screw the whole thing. Like as though one obstacle is enough to completely throw you off your game. So that's all I'm trying to say there. But another reason, which I don't mind, like I'm not sitting here kicking dirt thinking, fuck, is as counterintuitive as it may seem, I actually do kind of feel like I got a little bit of that out of my system. Because waking up this morning, the ramifications of that refeed are kind of stuck in me pretty well. So, I'm talking just like stomach. Like I woke up like twice last night because I had to go to the bathroom because I ate just so much. Just so much that I haven't eaten before. It's like I'm not even used to it. So I do think I kind of got the value of, all right, I got that out of my system. Now let's get back on track. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that because that's not like, that goes against what dieting is, right? But I guess what I can really say is if you do ever have a day where you're like, dude, fuck, I gotta eat something. Just don't go completely nuts, Like don't just throw in the towel after one day of going off plan or usually one night of going off plan, right? It's not the end of the world. You can get back on track, So just keep that in mind, right? One day isn't going to kill you, but if that one day turns into 10, turns into 20, well, you're not dieting anymore. You're saying you're dieting, but you're really just eating whatever the hell you want, right? So that's take with that what you will. But I I said last time that I'm not. I had a few like 10,000. I had 2 10,000 calorie days last diet. And then maybe 1.8 or something, like just not within like the last 6 weeks, or I think not even 6 weeks, like probably 8 weeks. So it's actually about time when I'm legit not going to hit one of these again. Goodness. But I had yeah, crap. I came into the gym last year or earlier this year, dieting. I had just eaten 10,000 calories the day before. And I didn't want to say I ate 10, so I'm just like, man, I'm really feeling really full today. But I'm not going to keep that a secret this time, so that's just kind of the whole picture of it. Now, I didn't, the reason that I'm not going to sit here and like record it and say like, dude, I'm having a cheat day. Well, if I like went through the effort to like take the camera out, I wouldn't do it because that would like keep me back on track, so. Yeah, yeah, whatever. But plan for tonight, now that I've got a little bit of extra carbs in my system, only 1.5 pounds heavier than the morning before though, so nothing crazy. But plan for tonight is quads. So I've got the hip press loaded with 7 plates already. That's probably the best part about now that I've got the private gym, is I don't have to take the weight off. Like my normal working weight on some of these machines, I can just leave it on because I'm gonna use it again next time. You know, nobody else is coming in here doing 1 plate on leg press or anything. But I'll see if I want to throw those in. But leg extensions are really gonna be the bread and butter of the next 3 months. You know, leg press is gonna be thrown in, of course, just for variation's sake. But I'm not growing right now. Like, I don't care what anybody says, like, oh, dude, you can grow into a diet. No, man, for the most part, when you're dieting as a semi-seasoned lifter, obviously if you're a beginner, body recomp, that's legit. But if you've been working out for a few years, newbie gains are off the table. If you're bulking or maintaining, you're basically gaining mass and a little body fat. That's just part of the deal. Don't worry about it. And if you're dieting, you're trying to hold on to your muscle mass and lose body fat. Not, you know, you're not really growing, right? You're just trying to maintain. So for me, at least, as far as I've noticed, leg extensions for 80% and then plus a little extra something else, that basically lets me hold on to my quads pretty well. Strength, don't really lose it so much after I get back to like regular eating. My squat strength is gonna be trash though. Like a few months ago, I think maybe 4 or 5-ish, I hit 585 for 8, which is my all-time PR for squats. I probably could have done 9. I should have done it, because then I would have had a new fucking, you know, all-time rep PR there, which would have been nuts. But by the time I did the 8th one, I don't know, I had 8 in my mind, so I just called it. But before that bulking phase, like after the Arnold when I started squatting, 4 plates felt probably just as heavy as 6, because my lower back hadn't been used to that much load. Because when I'm dieting, I'm not doing anything that loads my erectors very much. Like I'm trying to hit the targeted muscle, and that's all. You know, so it'll come back. And I think it's probably a good idea for me to, or not a good idea, but a good thing that I have this time off of like crazy heavy everything, because I think it gives all my joints a break, you know. So if half the year I'm going nuts, and then the other half of the year is a little more lighter squeezing, I think that's a good mix, right? That's a good 2 sides of the same coin type deal. But yeah, I guess we can, yeah, I'll have to call this quads after a 5,000 calorie cheat day. But yeah, I'm gonna start adding the morning weight into the title of all these videos just for consistency's sake. And I think, you tell me, you know, if this seems stupid or not, but should I change the name of this kind of series? Because so far I've just kind of been dieting. I haven't really been thinking like, okay, bodybuilding competition, anything like that. I don't know, I think it might be good. Even just the name, like, it's kind of, I just stuck with it because it was kind of funny, Cutzilla. But I think actually calling the next few months like the actual prep, I think that might be good. Maybe it'll put me in a little bit of like a mindset shift. But, you know, you tell me. Either way, I mean, the videos are going to be the same. Just regular workouts and dieting and everything else. But, yeah, I think nothing else to say. I can guarantee that I'm not going to have to wait on anybody for the leg extension. And, well, I got Blue in the back seat. He's coming with me to the gym tonight. I don't think he's hitting legs. He's kind of like it's like a more kind of nonchalant, kind of quiet dude. He's not really talking to me too much, but I don't think he's hitting legs. If anything, he's probably just gonna take a freaking nap. So I think I'll be good. But yeah, I think nothing else to say. Let's just go get these quads freaking pumped. All right, what do we have here? We've got the leg extension, right? I'm curious, are there any other die-hard leg extension fans out there, right? I know I'm one. I wouldn't, I don't know. If you told me one quad movement ever, I'm going to pick leg extensions. Just because you can do it in so many different ways. You can do a really heavy set, you can do light squeezing, and also, I mean, you're not going to squat super crazy heavy forever either, or leg press. But it's not like those aren't good. That's not what I'm trying to say here. But dieting for me, this is mostly what I'm aiming for. Lighter, squeezing, burning work. I'm just not really going to get that on a leg press. There's no squeeze. There's a lot of tension and work, but there's no squeeze on top. So, I mean, going over to the hip press in a little bit, I think will be good. I might drop it to 6 plates instead of 7. You know, that unintentional, but that's just what the numbers are at. But first I'm going to start with leg extensions, alternating single leg. I think as a start, this is really nice. 5 reps on one, 5 on the other. And I don't want to say that this, like, I'm not taking it easy on this set, but it might not be a total failure because I'm not going super heavy, you know? So it's kind of a value of like more of reaching a certain burning sensation. And even just on the feeler reps, like after one squeeze, I think just from having a little bit of extra carbs and water from last night, this is going to be quite the quad pump. That's for sure. I'm going to make use. I'm going to make use of those extra carbs. So let me get a good TikTok edit playing and then we can get started. So for reference, only 100 pounds, single leg. Nothing wild. All right. Okay. All right. I might have underestimated my strength a little bit. I'd count that as a half warm-up, half working set. Let's go a little heavier and repeat. Okay. One more like that. And then we'll add some variation. Ooh. Blue. 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 Yeah, he's sleepy. All right, I've got a plan. So I just did a feeler rep of a sissy squat on the hack, only with 3 plates on that side. And I need to do some rearranging. Honestly, from like the hack squat over, decent feng shui in here. Everything's kind of where it belongs. The leg side is a little funky. So next few weeks, some stuff will go here, some will go there. It'll make a little more sense. So just 3 plates on the side, which this thing is so freaking sturdy. Having it only loaded on one side is not going to change anything about the feel. But I'm going to rearrange all this. But I'm going to do some of this next after just one more set here. A little heavier, 145 instead of 130. But same thing, just basic squeezing reps. Really trying to burn it on the top. All right. Yeah. 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 Okay. Yeah, let's change it up for the next one. Especially when I'm dieting, I kind of have a change of, not a change of heart, but just a change of like what I need these sets to look like. So if I want to really kill my quads on like a hack, you know, in more of a standard way, go super heavy. But I don't want to put a ton of tension through my quads, or like mainly my knees, because dieting, I'm much more tender. When I'm in an off season, if I do fucking 10 plate sets of that hip press and like start with the squat and then do a stack of leg extensions, I think I probably do a certain amount of like temporary damage and inflammation to like everything in here, but it can kind of recover itself before the next quad day. Dieting, that recovery system just not as good. So I'm going to make this kind of a 3-parter. This might seem a little stupid to you. I don't see a lot of people do it. Even I don't do it that much, but I used to. And what it would be was just doing a like static flex before a set. So I'm going to start just standing, 10-second super hard squeeze, just fucking flex the shit out of my quads just to pre-exhaust them a little bit. Then 3-plate sissy squat hacks, slow-ish, you know, very controlled, and then burn out with double leg extensions. So kind of like a triple superset, but none of the weight is crazy, so it's not like a ton of physical work, if you feel me. But I just think this will be good next. So let me pick a better song. Let me pick a slightly better song. Yeah, there we go. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Woof. Yeah. Poof. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh my God. do one more of those. That was good. A little heavy on the leg extensions. Yeah. Let me change it up a little. Instead of that static hold, I'll just do a couple reps, then go on the sissy squats, then come back. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think one more leg extension, and that'll be all. Those sissy squats actually feel really good. They were kind of bothering my knees for a while. I think I was just going too heavy. Let's finish with some leg extensions into just weighted, or not weighted, body weight sissy squats. And then pose down, and that'll be it. Those hacks took a little more out of me than I expected, which is good. So, let me get a good edit going and get it freaking real. All right, how's this feel? All right. Okay, let's see how quads are looking. All done. You know I'm on a diet, right? You're eating right in front of me? That's some bullshit, man. All right, mind the out of breathness. It's been like 30 seconds since I hit stop record. But let's see how we're looking. So, a good test before a pose down is just stand. With a quad pump at least. Just stand up, don't flex, don't do anything, and just feel how your quad's moving. I think there's a good relationship between movement up here, wobbling all the way down, because what that tells me is my quad feels like a cohesive, inflated unit, you know? So let's see how they're actually looking visually. And they should be at least slightly bigger than normal, just from being a little more carved up. But nothing huge, you know. Like when I carb up for competition, that's going to be a drastic change because the plan is going to be, like, let's assume I'm walking around lean at 228. 228 has kind of been my goal. But let's say 230 for math's sake. I'm walking around 230, morning weight, after the bathroom. I've got to check in at 227. So I'll do a day where I basically drink, or a few days, where I drink a ton of water. And then for one day, pre-show, pull it. Or, pre-weigh-ins, pull it. So I'll go from like 230 to 220 something. And then from 220 something, that day I'm going to eat a bunch of carbs, drink enough water to facilitate those carbs. And then the next morning, hopefully wake up at like 235 or something, you know. So I only gained 1.5 pounds from that cheat day. So nothing so crazy. But quads are feeling good. And even pump, there's some decent separation of each head. So you'll say outer head, medial head, teardrop. But yeah, that's what I want to see. Okay. Now, is there a little feathering in there? Is there a little bit of something? A little. Nothing crazy, but a little bit of just fanciness, interesting shit going on. Which is like phase 2 muscle development. Phase 1, we'd say just basic size. You're getting bigger. But after a point, you're going to start getting more like interesting, defined, separated, or like grainy. That's what we call a little more like muscle maturity. So you might not be bigger, but your muscles themselves will take on like a more interesting shape and different kind of attributes, if you feel what I'm saying. Oh my goodness. Let me try to get a breath hold and see how many of these veins I can get to really pop out. Oh my goodness. But yeah, total, I'm feeling good. That's for sure. So, decently wide. Like I feel like the ratio of quad here to waist in here is getting pretty classical, you know? So I do not have to do 30 minutes of the bike because I don't think it would be beneficial to do like pedaling based cardio after hitting quads. So I did 45 minutes this morning, an extra 10 from what I've been doing each session, and then none for the weightlifting session. So a little bit lower than my other days, but hitting your quads themselves, like in the lift, you're burning a bit of energy just because they're such a big muscle. So, you know, it's not like guys will argue, well, I don't need to do my cardio because I burn calories when I work out. And, you know, you kind of have a point. Like, that's not wrong. But depending on what your goals are, you just may need to burn more calories than a regular lift will facilitate. But I'm freaking out of breath. Let's get in the car and pack up Blue and freaking roll. Go eat something. All right. So I do have a question for any. Is anyone a hand PT surgical specialist? Because I think I really hurt myself. I don't know what I'm pretty sure I was sitting on the ground, and to get up, I put my hand flat on the ground, and I'm very tight. Like I couldn't do a handstand flat. Like this would really hurt my wrist, and I think I pulled like a tendon way down, like right in here. Like even pressing on it now, it's very tender, kind of like reaching down. Like I don't feel any like super bad weakness. I think I probably had like a strain or something, because like sitting here I can like get into here. I'm feeling a lot of pressure. So yeah, that's kind of been bothering me. I hate having a thing like that. Like this, just having any tweak, even something like so little as this, just like sucks. You're always thinking about it, you know. So I I'm fairly confident this was not lifting related. I should have like made a fist and pushed on the ground instead of tweaking my hand a little bit. So what I'm going to do to alleviate this minor injury is avoid anything that hurts. So I'm going to avoid doing anything that hurts that area. So simple enough, right? And I guess if it persists long enough, I'd have to go see a freaking specialist. But a lot of the times, if you have something that isn't like drastically, like you got to go to the hospital, it's pretty much always going to be a good move. You know, this is just my take, to say, oh, does doing this hurt my shoulder? I better not do that for a while. Man, my knees are always like cracking and popping, and I feel like I'm limping out of the gym every time I do hack squats. Maybe I shouldn't do hack squats. You know, like just stuff like that. So that's my plan. I'll keep you updated going forward. Like hand strength, like I don't know. It's just freaking annoying me. I don't think ice would help, because it's like all ice is going to do is reduce the inflammation and kind of numb the area temporarily. And then by reducing that inflammation, it's like reducing the blood flow to the area, which I want, because that's going to, you know, kind of improve the healing. But I don't know. Just a little annoyance for me. So now I'm doing a lot of stuff left-handed. Like I'm just gonna hold my arm in here and not tweak it or anything. But that was a good quad pump. Felt very full, or at least like, look at this, at least decently full. So I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow morning's morning weight just ends up being that freaking 240 again. And I don't know. I think. So this is what I was... Actually, was I doing it like this? I don't remember. So earlier in prep last year, or, well, earlier this year, what I would do is I would wake up, instant, super early cardio session, like right off the bat, boom, go to the apartment gym, get on the bike, pedal. So far, I've been doing morning workout and then morning cardio phase. I don't know. I think I might want to... I don't know. I'll change it up. What's most important is that throughout the day, somehow, I do my 2 sessions of cardio and my workout in a way that is, you know, very repeatable. So whether that means morning cardio and then night workout, night cardio, or morning lift cardio, later cardio, any kind of combination of those is cool. But I want to do the one that just kind of feels the best. And sometimes, excuse me. Sometimes I've been, or at least the last few weeks, I've really been liking waking up. Boom, let's go work out. Like just instantly wake up to a W. But sometimes I like going to bed after a workout, like doing a later one like tonight, because then it's like a good ender for the day, you know? So maybe I'm overthinking it, and I should just do a little bit of a mix of both. Who's to say for sure? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I've got a few things to do. I've got a lot of just random stuff to organize. I've got to send a camera to this camera shop in California, because I've sent them a camera before because somebody broke the screen by knocking it over in the gym. Which, like, I was on an awesome streak. I'd never broken any kind of camera, anything, for like 3 years, or like 2 years. And then, you know, boom. And it was the same one. So I'm replacing the screen for a second time on the same one, which I guess is good, because at least the rest of it is still, you know, in good shape. And then I got to make sure that eBay hooks me up, because I got hit with the old empty boxaroo from, I'm just always scanning. Like, I'm always scanning for like different lenses or whatever, because you can find some deals, you know, and that's kind of half the fun of it, is like, oh, I got this thing for like half usual price. So I see this guy list this camera, and I'm like, whoa, that's a good deal. Seller account 0 history, which I did not see until a little bit later. So I was pretty much, I already kind of knew I was about to get spoofed. And then the guy he tried to pull the trick where he ships the box to the wrong address, but an address that's near my house, so that it still like gets delivered. But he must have picked a bad address, because the UPS guy couldn't deliver it. And then I got a notification that let it ship it to my address. So I'm like, all right, let's see. Did the gamble pay off? And did I just get this thing for a steal? Or is it going to be nothing? And it was the latter. So I'm like pretty certain that I'm going to be cool, just because like UPS has weight scans throughout the shipping process, which can kind of validate, like, dude, this thing that you shipped me that was supposed to be 5 pounds got weighed in Tallahassee at 0 pounds, or at like 3 ounces. What's the deal? You know? So we'll see. I'll keep you updated there. I texted so David Lade is really into cameras, so I texted him a picture, and I'm like, dude, I think I just got a steal. I think I just got the deal of a lifetime. And and I'm like, let's see if it. So I don't remember what I said, but I texted him. I'm like, let's see if this actually works. And he said back, that price is suspiciously good. So I guess he was right. So other than that, smooth freaking sailing. You know, I gotta just get some ground beef cooked into a big ass salad bowl, so I've got it prepped, and then just keep riding it out. You know, before we know it, I'm gonna be walking around at 2:35 in the morning, and then 2:30, and then, well, shit, by the time I'm like 2:30, it's gonna be damn near showtime, and I better make sure that I have a posing routine. Last time I did not work on that super early, kind of just enough to get it memorized, but I'll make this one a little fancier. I'm gonna watch a bunch of like Terrence Ruffin. His posing is always super, like, he's real fancy with it. I'm talking different transitions and stuff. Like, not gonna be too crazy with it, but just enough. And if you ever do a bodybuilding show, you will feel much more confident if you know and have like done your posing routine in your head at least like a ton of times, just so that you know what's gonna happen. Like, like I remember I would just I'd play the song, and in my head I'm like, okay, can I hit one of these and twist and turn and do a little half spin, and then just like, that made it a lot easier, you know, because the last thing you want to do is get up there and then freeze, right? That freaking suck. So yeah, second time around I think is gonna look a little bit more put together, that's for sure. But that's still a few months away. So I'll keep you updated on that front as well. But yeah, 10 o'clock, I think it's time to get some food in my system and then go to bed. So, very good quad day. Tomorrow, tomorrow. Ooh. Actually, I feel like I just did chest. So I don't know if I should change it up and kind of reroute the routine. I don't know. I got my days totally backwards. Like, I did chest like with only 2 days in between. I don't know. Either way, some kind of lift is going to happen tomorrow, and I'll see you there for it. So I'll see you then.